Hello and welcome back to Assassin's Creed Black Flag, everyone. With me today is...
Hi, I'm ARHJ. An acronym for things you would want to imagine.
I understand. So we've got a lot to do in the capital of Spanish Cuba at the moment.
So since we recorded the first video, the U.S. has started to normalize trade relations with Cuba.
Yeah, it's exciting.
So soon you can come visit lovely Havana with its gunmen sitting on top of rooftops and courtesans.
Oblivious Spanish officers getting strangled, too.
Oh yes, you don't have hidden blades yet because you got rid of them because you're an idiot.
Well, I did think it didn't work very well. I think it got ruined.
Other things that have happened since we recorded that first video. Some game came out that I'm kind of disappointed in. That we may or may not have discussed in the last video or something.
I think we may have mentioned it, but not really talked about it since it wasn't out yet.
It's a fun game if you can get it playing. Fortunately, to get it playing, some people really don't have much luck with that. And we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. I heard Rogue is pretty good, though.
I have not yet played Rogue. I have it pre-ordered because I'm an utter idiot. And this will be the second Assassin's Creed game I've pre-ordered. Technically, I got Black Flag as a... because I got a new graphics card. It was the the throw-in game for the graphics card. But... Ooh, you have the Voynich manuscript.
Yeah.
Which I don't actually know if there's any trace of it being in Cuba at this time period, but let's roll with whatever conceit the game's gone with.
We are talking about Assassin's Creed here.
Yeah. Somebody actually asked me, I had a friend start playing Black Flag for the first time a few months ago, and like, oh, the Voynich manuscript, was that ever in Cuba? And as far as I could tell, the guy who owned it for a while was Peter Beckford. He was the governor of Kingston, Jamaica at some point. And that's apparently how they say they got it to the New World. I don't exactly know the veracity of that. I don't really care. Hey, that's the cantina from the first mission. The first mission you won in Havana.
So there's all sorts of like little restricted areas around the cities in this game where you have these manuscripts flying around. And invariably what I want to do is steal the manuscript without getting caught. Because I could fight these mooks, but eh. Thank goodness you get smoke bombs so early in the game. And since we're living in the age of firearms, it's a lot easier for guards to knock you out of a climb. For Shanty. You collect those to get tunes for your crew, which haven't really come up yet, but it will. I mean, this game's whole thing is getting a ship later.
Ah, yes, the sea shanties have replaced the almanac pages from Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah. Much better idea in this game, though.
I just picture Kenway forcing everybody on his ship to learn how to sing this one song every time they join in as a crew member.
It's our old friend Stede Bonnet.
Yes.
Sorry about the swift exit. Bit of a misunderstanding.
One heaped upon another.
Oh, Jesus. I'm sorry, mate. This is my doing. I'm only trying to keep these Spanish eyes off me.
Oh, it's no bother. Regrettably, the soldiers confiscated my sugar for when your dispatches.
Damn! And where've they gone?
Haven't the foggiest idea, I'm afraid. I suspect those chaps might, but my Spanish is wee mal dad, so I'd rather not ask.
Very evil.
Alright, come on, let's follow them and recover my map.
I love this guy.
Yes.
What, in my drawers? We'll see what happens.
So, without getting into it, I think Stede Bonnet's like 28 at this point in his life. He's an actual real-life person.
Huh.
And he does not look 28.
Yeah. We'll be meeting another. We'll be meeting another couple real people in this video too. He just runs ahead.
This is what idiots in this think you need to do for stealth and Unity, but whatever.
Yep.
We should split up to confuse them. It's the best idea you've had today.
You know, it says to hire dancers to distract the guards, but as you can see, I just completed the additional objective, so it just means just hire guards. Hire dancers, I'm sorry.
We are very sorry, our captain delayed us.
Temparum digitus fecit cargo.
This will be Captain Mendoza? Yes, sir. He is very excited to meet you. Only he must be present for a hanging. Hanging? I love a good hanging. Yes, sir. Very nice. If we hear the bell, we may go. Right.
I'd love to. Especially if Captain Mendoza's pulling the trap. The man owes me money for the slaves I sold him.
Of course, sir. Captain Mendoza is happy to pay you. Sugars and such.
Excellent.
So this tailing mission is a lot like others in this series so far, but there is something that changes it up a little coming up.
Oh god, I just muted myself. Fuck.
Yeah,
I was saying that I was just about to say that this is actually a big quality of life improvement from the previous games, because you can tag people through walls, so you don't exactly have to maintain a line of sight with them anymore. Which is something that got really frustrating.
Yeah.
At times.
And you get these nice sort of 2D models, I don't know what you'd call them, of the database entries now. And now, see, they start running, which happened all of like once, I think, in the Ezio trilogy. Happened very rarely in any case. But in this game, it's sort of a matter of course that tailing targets will run every now and then.
Yeah. Hey, we're gonna just hop down a ledge because we gotta get to the hanging.
Yep.
Like, it's just like... It doesn't really make any sense whatsoever.
And I do like how Edward doesn't just like go through the rope, he has to actually sort of move around it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of neat little animation touches like that.
I think this is exactly what I'm thinking of, because he's going to do a running long jump in just a second. Like, yeah, hey, we're going to go... Oh, golly. I'm glad, so happy. Why the fuck didn't we just...
He's so excited is what he is. Fortunately, I come a little too close to him that time. Now this whole sort of mechanic was introduced in 3, where you have to eavesdrop on people, but you have to stay in like proximity to them.
Right. It wasn't in Revelations.
No.
This is never nearly as hard as it seems, except for like one mission in Liberation. Not Liberation, Freedom's Cry, and that was completely optional at that, but not if you wanted the best one the most in the game.
The closest thing to these sort of proximity eavesdropping missions would be like the one mission in 2 where you have to kill the Doge at Venice, and those guards are searching for you while you're waiting.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but it's the same idea.
Of course, you could just hire a bunch of dancers and nobody's going to see you anyway, so whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they're actively looking for you.
No.
That's a start. Shall I accompany him to the Castillo?
Of course, this wouldn't work in Unity because you don't start off the game knowing how to blend into a crowd. You just stand out.
Interesting.
Good Lord.
No, it's a skill you have to buy.
Big brute, you're Captain Mendoza.
I did not know that. Then again, I still have to play that game.
So is Double Assassinations and Double Air Assassinations. That... Yeah. There are a lot of things Unity does that are nice if you can get it playing. There are a lot of things it doesn't do quite well, and that mostly involves stuff that doesn't actually impact the game all that much, to be quite honest, which is the really annoying part. But whatever.
And now you don't just like awkwardly hide behind solid objects. Edward would sort of stick to them like Solid Snake or something. In the other games, you just have to like stand behind them like a dope.
Yeah, no, in this game, what also pisses a lot of people off is that they kind of broke the stealth, and they broke the stealth somewhat, but the stealth is also kind of like Splinter Cell Blacklist, but not quite like Splinter Cell Blacklist because you can't round corners like you could in Splinter Cell Blacklist, which gets really frustrating at times, but not really needed, so I'm not that pissed off about it, but... And also, they got rid of counter kills.
Yeah, there are none.
So they actually listened to everybody and made combat harder. But
now you can kill this guy. It's just
so one of your options
doing everything
here is not to get into combat, correct?
I think so, yeah. I mean, you can just stealth kill him, but I like to do things the stealthiest, least lethal way. Because you can go around killing everyone, but it's not like you're great at the game if you just kill everyone.
Hey, if everybody's dead, they can't see you.
Yeah. But now, in this last part of the mission, it's actually pretty cool because it's pretty non-linear. There are a lot of different ways you can get to where you're supposed to be going.
Yeah.
My first time through the game, I went in through the main gate, which is pretty tough to fulfill the optional objective. But the smarter way is to go around the side, like I'm trying to do now.
Yeah. Yeah. To be quite honest, that's one of the things I did like about Unity. Basically, every memory sequence is capped off by an assassination attempt, and you're pretty much given free rein on how you want to go about it. Just like there's a dude in there, do whatever the hell you want to get to him, and be done with it.
Yeah. That window over there, not really accessible, so we can sneak through the gunpowder storage or whatever this place is. And you have these little storerooms on walls, which are new to this game, I think. Maybe they were in 3. That you can hide behind, just a new hiding place.
I'm not gonna go for... Hey, wait a second.
Yeah, I got caught up on the wall there. Some guard standing where he shouldn't have been, but it wasn't really interesting or funny, so no reason to keep it.
Actually, one of the things that I have to say I do like about this game is you don't actually have to get all the optional objectives on a single run.
Really?
No, you don't. Because what they would do in Revelations 3 and... I don't think they ever did in Brotherhood, but in Revelations 3 there was a get all optional objectives bonus objective. So you'd be forced to get them all. In this game, it just cares that you've done them. So you can actually do a run and not have... you can always come back and do a run later just geared towards one specific thing, like if you have some weird-ass mind sneaking suit, for example, in this mission. Not saying... Yeah, they basically got rid of that thing as they got rid of it as a thing you had to do, so it was always nice.
I did not know that. I really didn't.
Well, I mean, if you really want to, you get them all in one go anyway. But
yeah, and that unique chime means a gunner is looking out for you, or a sharpshooter, whatever you want to call them.
Just call them a sniper. That's what they are.
Yeah,
that's basically what they are.
Yeah,
snipers, of course, are a relatively new unit that were pretty much introduced in 3, and their deal is they have a gun, they have longer range of sight than other enemies, and they probably will see you before you see them.
Yeah. Although there is one really funny thing you can do with sharpshooters in this game that we can't really do now because we don't have the weapon for it, but I will be showing that off, of course.
Oh yes, I love that button. It makes a return.
Yep.
In Unity.
Oh, neat.
And you get it relatively early on in that game, too. Unlike this game, which takes like halfway through the fucking game to get it.
Sorry about the sugar. I've only one pair of hands.
Not to mention rope darts.
Oh, it's no great loss.
Fucking rope darts. They're
They're
not a very useful thing. And you get them in like what?
A few weeks, yes.
Sequence 10?
Then back to Barbados.
Yeah,
to the
very
tedium
close
of
to the end of the
domesticity.
game.
Don't settle for tedium. Sail for Nassau. Live life as you see fit.
Haven't I heard that Nassau is crawling with pirates? Seems a very tawdry place.
Not tawdry, liberated.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
That would be an adventure. But no, I'm a husband and a father. I have responsibilities. Life can't be all pleasure and distraction, Duncan.
I thought this guy was going to be like the Leonardo da Vinci of this game, but nope.
The name's Edward, in truth.
We see him like maybe once after this sort of arc in the game.
Secret
Maybe
name
not
for
even
your
that.
secret meeting with the governor.
The governor, right. I think I've kept him waiting long enough.
Oh, hey, I think that means you're going to get to do my favorite mission in this fucking game.
Yep.
Soon.
I was surprised how much ground I was able to cover in this video, honestly, and stupid wireless controller thing.
So, Stede Bonnet was a real-life person. He was a captain. He was a merchant in the from Barbados, and eventually he went into a life of piracy. Good job, Edward.
Huh.
Good job.
That is pretty interesting.
He actually went into a life of piracy just about this time, so it's Highly recommended that little speech. Got him into it.
Yeah, neat.
Whatever, he's gone. He was just a tutorial character anyway.
Yeah. I kind of miss him, though.
Yeah. He kind of reminds me of Wally from The Secret of Monkey Island. Well,
Now, there are Animus fragments, which originally showed up in Revelations around here, but they don't really do anything in this game. They're just a collectible for the sake of being a collectible.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, you need it so you can get the best cheat in the game. Which is... I'll say that for later, but...
I have not actually gotten that. I don't think when I was playing this game, mainly I don't think I really bothered with the Animus fragments very much. Just like to get 100% synchronization, you have to open all the little treasure chests on the little islands all around the ocean.
Hey, we know what we're expecting from you in this LP.
So tedious.
I did it! I have 100% completion in this game.
Is there any Assassin's Creed game where you actually get something for 100% synchronization? I know Revelations doesn't, or 2.
Technically, Brotherhood, you would get a cheat for 100%ing a memory sequence.
Yeah.
But that isn't quite the same as 100%ing the game, because it doesn't include collectibles. Don't think technically Unity does as well, but I mean, you get a bunch of, like, other things towards 100%. Like, you have an entire trophy room that slowly fills up the closer you get to 100% in various categories. Though...
And I think this might be the first dedicated cathedral in the series since the one in Akka in the first game. I don't know if there were any actual, like, cathedrals in 2 Ezio's trilogy. There definitely wasn't in Revelation, because that didn't take place in any Catholic countries.
And Unity's kind of a weird example anyway, because a lot of the equipment is more level. It's more level based, I guess I would say, because you can kind of buy anything you want once you unlock it. And it's not really tied to like a memory sequence like it was in... Christ, how the hell did you trick that into going... No, okay, normally, for reference, the shanties have 2 different paths to go. And they will go away from you. So you can't just kind of, like, go the other way around. In that case, you managed to somehow trick it into going right into... Lucky.
Yeah, it's not like the first time I've done that, but I can never, like, constantly trick the game into doing that. Usually you have to chase them down, but sometimes you'll get lucky like that.
Yeah. It's been a while. I can't remember if I ever really had that happen to me. They got rid of... there aren't any actual shanties in Unity. Well, there are a couple of songs you can unlock here and there, but...
I didn't think there would be any.
What?
I didn't think there would be any.
Oh.
What's the context for a song showing up?
Well, really what it is you can go to a pub and there will be people singing songs in the pub.
Oh.
But...
Pulled me from the deep there, Captain. Jack, thanks
so you can unlock a pirate for a ship you don't...
Yeah, what he said. But yeah, you can get the save pirate missions, but there's no point to them since you don't have a ship. And it's not like that's a spoiler anyway, since that was like a major selling point of this game.
Huh. What the fuck is going well? For anybody watching, I'm sorry. I kind of got a new headset because my old headset was being held together by duct tape, and my new headset actually managed to completely die on me after having it for less than a month. So right now my headset is apparently randomly muting itself.
Oh, did you see that there? Aerial tackle on that guy. That's how you know your assassination skills are being put to good work. Good use.
Yeah, like throwing a smoke bomb in front of two people just because...
I don't really know why I did that. I thought I was going to distract those guards into coming over, but it didn't work out like that.
For that you... No, I guess they don't have cherry bombs in the main game. Cherry bombs were... Well, in... You can't get a chest, you're in combat. In Freedom Cry, which is the major DLC campaign that takes place after this game, not really going to say too much more about that. You had firecrackers, which basically could like distract guys. In Unity, they're replaced by cherry bombs because they got rid of your ability to whistle, which also is kind of a shitty decision, but whatever. On the other hand, multiplayer's fucking fun in Unity, so if you can get it to work. Caveat about Unity: it's a fun game if you can get it to work.
Yeah, that's kind of why. Are there like major performance issues on the PS4 or whatever?
You ever have one of those games where you wonder why the fuck does this thing have such intense graphical requirements? Or such intense system requirements because it does not look like that at all? Unity is not that game. Unity is in fact pushing boundaries very hard and probably pushed them too hard.
Mr.
Which
Duncan
is
Walpole of England to see the governor.
Frustrating and
I believe he is expecting me.
nice at the same time.
Sí, señor Walpole. Entre, por favor.
Because you can easily get like a crowd of, and I have a picture of it. I'll show it to you after the video's over.
¿Ese es el hombre?
You can easily get like a few hundred NPCs on the screen at the same time.
Wow.
So yes, there are performance requirements. It's in fact a very performance-heavy game, but there are just random shitty things about it that people did really stupid things on day one, and then people did really yeah. It's like there were a lot of like graphical glitches on day one that people like to point out, except those were basically all from people who never put the patch out, who put the first patch on the game. If we want to get into the philosophical discussions of day one patching, that's another day, but whatever.
Yeah. I don't know, that's kind of why I like buying games, modern games so far out from release dates these days, is that the developers have time to hammer out all the big performance issues.
Oh god, they didn't in this. They didn't in Unity, and that's the big issue. The other major thing is they completely broke the initiates. I don't know if you've noticed that or not.
No.
But
Good morning,
initiates has now actually
Will I
gone
be
from something
correct
being
in
kind of
thinking
useful
you
and
are
fun
Duncan?
to being absolutely non-existent, because they were turning it into like something to track everybody's stats.
I must say, my wife has a terrible eye for this.
They shut it down over Christmas, and they haven't opened it up since.
My wife.
Huh.
You met her
Oh,
some
and this
years
guy,
ago.
Woodrush
Percy's
Rogers, another
masquerade
real
ball.
person.
Ah, quite. She called you devilishly handsome. Obviously a lie to stoke my jealousy. Julianne, our guest of honor has arrived, Mr. Duncan Walpole.
Ah. Julien Ducasse. I hope your conversion to our order is an honest one. I have no love for assassins, but even less for liars.
I have not come to disappoint.
You know, that line there is, when I was first playing this game,
Your
I
man
thought
is
that was like
right,
the
just
first time I knew these guys were Templars, because it's not really clear who you're getting involved with at this point.
No.
But yeah,
You've got
these
my
guys
two
are
best pairs of
Templars.
matched pistols, Duncan. So
Could have
handle them
waited
with
15
care.
minutes, man.
If I had 8, I'd treat each as my own son.
Pull off a few shots if you like. Get a feel for it.
I once fought beside a man who carried
I just sent you the
9 on his
screenshot,
breast.
by the way.
They were a boom in
Got it.
battle, but hindered his ability to swim. Sadly.
Quite. Kick, yes?
I long for the day where one firearm carries
This game
four
kind of
weapons.
this thing brings back the pistol mechanics from 3. If if you didn't play that game, basically you have a gun, you can aim it wherever you want, and headshots will instantly kill anybody.
Yep.
But the bullets are still pretty powerful, and unlike in 3, I believe, you can quick fire them in the middle of a fight.
Yeah.
I don't think you could in 3.
I think you might be able to quick fire it, but it's not something that is really recommended. In this game, it's a lot more balanced because you can get up to like a bunch of guns on your chest at one time.
Yeah.
And you just have to tap a button to fire.
Now, there is an alternate objective, but it involves talking to the Woodruff Rogers guy. He gives you a little shooting challenge. If you talk to Julian Ducat first, you can continue the mission, which means you can't 100% the mission.
Remember, hit every target within the allotted time.
This actually took me a few tries because you have to get at the right angle to be able to shoot it at all the targets at a time. And you have to factor in the reload time, which is terrible, but you know, it's 17th century guns. You can't expect them. Actually, this is the 18th century. You have to factor in the reload, so.
Yeah, in some of the games it gets to be. This game, I think the most you can overhold is like 2 shots a gun. In Unity, I know it's like 8, and it's like 4-ish.
Where are your wrist blades?
Or it might be 2-ish
I've never seen an assassin
3
so
as well, but you can have the dual holster if it doesn't bug out. Fucking 3. 3 had for the longest time, and I don't know if it's still there or not, a bug where if you started up the game, you would lose a pistol in your dual holster, and you'd have to go find a place to re-equip it on random. It was really annoying.
Weird.
Finally, hidden blades.
2 blades, as is the custom, eh?
Custom, aye.
Duncan, will you indulge us with a demonstration of your techniques?
Well,
We must. We put together a training course in anticipation of your arrival. It would be a shame to leave here without seeing you in action.
yes, of course. Well, I mean, if there is time, I would gladly, show you what I know.
Here. You see, situation is well suited to your skills.
Have a go. A blade in a crowd is always the simplest.
Now, for Assassin's Creed veterans, this is kind of redundant since you've done pretty much all of this before. But it's good for newcomers, I guess, to be able to sort of really quickly go through all the different ways you can use the hidden blades.
I'd like to imagine that there's actually just real people underneath these things.
That's the spirit.
Yeah, Haystack Kill's a classic.
Yeah.
The advantage of surprise cannot be overstated, isn't that so? Especially around a blind corner.
So this is basically telling you, this is how you corner kill people, or this is how you fund assassinations, or whatever.
That's a clever trick.
Yeah.
Your aerial kills have a poetic...
Oh, hey, I guess we'll never know if you're really an assassin or not, especially if we tell you exactly how to perform these assassinations.
Yep. Aerial assassination's my particular favorite. Especially online. There's nothing really quite like killing someone by jumping up on top of them from 10 stories up. Now, killing blows in high speed, they were in 3, it's just the game does not tell you can do that, I think. Because there's that one mission where you have to save Washington from being assassinated, and the only way to complete the additional objective and the main objective is to be able to kill at high speed. And for a long time, I really didn't know how to do that, how that was possible. But then I found out, oh, you can kill people at high speed in this game. You couldn't do that in the Ezio trilogy.
Are you an associate of the governor's?
It's just,
or a
that was my favorite sort of Assassin's Creed 3 story, because it's like, oh, here's this game mechanic, we didn't tell you anything about it, you have to do it to complete the objective.
Oh, I have lots of Assassin's Creed 3 stories.
And how is your wife these days?
I'm sure it'll piss off some people if I ever tell them.
Is she, here, in Havana?
I trust she's well, but I wouldn't know. I've been in Madagascar some 14
Another one
months
was,
hunting pirates.
I was walking through New York's underground, I think, at one point. I went out back to the streets and everything was in glitchy hell until I had to reset the system.
And how did you...
Luckily I didn't break my game or anything,
Very
but
simply,
I think one time I also came upon a floating carriage in the wilderness, but I didn't have a particularly glitchy experience with that game.
Oh,
I went like
would be your next
most of the game without knowing that you could go to find various trading posts and unlock them because they never showed up on your map ever.
Huh.
There's a bunch of them. There's like one sitting in Concord that never shows up on your map unless you're right there.
Grandmaster Torres,
Glitchy as hell.
Mr. Duncan Walpole.
See.
And Torres, another real person, he was the governor of Spanish Cuba at this time in history.
Apologies, Governor. My ship was set upon by pirates. We were scuttled. I arrived only yesterday.
Unfortunate. Forgive my caution, but were you able to salvage from these pirates the items you promised me?
Yes, sir, I was.
Increíble. The assassins have more resources than I had imagined, but not nearly enough to deter us. It is a pleasure to meet you at last, Duncan. You are most welcome. Come, gentlemen. We have much to discuss.
And now for my favorite side objectives in the entire series.
Yep, it's classic.
Convened at last, and in such continental company. England, France, Spain, citizens of sad and corrupted empires. But you are Templars now, the secret and true legislators of the world. Please, hold out your hands. Mark and remember our purpose. To guide our wayward souls, to live rich.
Really, we're just gonna chop off your finger, but rings are just as well.
Wayward desire, till impassioned hearts.
Yeah, that's kind of weird for me in 3, how they gave that Braddock guy a ring, which you'd think would be pretty
and
conspicuous.
sober thought. By the Father of Understanding's light.
But I don't know, maybe it's like a secret Templar ring that nobody really knows the meaning of outside of the Order.
Hard to kill anybody who does. But.
Yeah.
Decades ago, the Council entrusted me with the task of locating in these West Indies.
Now, while Grandpa here is blathering, your objective is to steal from all these guys.
Look up on these images and commit them to
This is just my favorite thing because it's the perfect characterization of Edward. He honestly does not give a fuck. He just wants money.
Yep.
And he doesn't even give a shit.
It contains a tool of incredible utility and power. It houses a kind of Armillary sphere, if you like. A device that would grant us the power to
He's just
locate
eyeing
and
these
monitor
guys up
every
who all
man
look
and
very
woman,
wealthy and
whatever
then
the
just decide to
location.
steal them
Only
while they're all
imagine
distracted.
What it would mean to have such a power. With this device,
And because the additional objectives are how Edward did these missions in the Assassin's Creed world, that's canon right there.
this is the Observatory's promise, and we must take it for our own.
Do we know its whereabouts?
We will soon. For in our custody is the one man who does, a man named Roberts, once called a sage.
It has been 45 years since anyone has seen a true sage. Can you be sure this one is authentic?
We are confident he is.
The assassins will come for him.
Indeed they will. But thanks to Duncan and the information he has delivered, the assassins won't be a problem for much longer. All will be made clear tomorrow, gentlemen, when you meet the sage for yourselves. Until then, let us drink. Let us find the observatory together. For with its power, kings will fall, clergy will cower, and the hearts and minds of the world will be ours.
You know, you very rarely actually see people drinking water in video games, and that's always been kind of strange to me. I can't think of the last video game I've played where people actually drank water on
After
screen.
which we will discuss further schemes.
I look forward to it.
Excelente. Meet me down at the docks first thing tomorrow morning.
Governor Torres requests your presence at the docks near the Castillo. First thing tomorrow morning.
But now, we have one more very important thing to do before this video ends. Can you guess what it is?
Hey, is that a community chest? Or...
No, it's a courier.
Oh, courier.
Yeah. I can't get community stuff because while I was recording this, I wasn't playing online. Because I have a wired connection at the moment, so that means I have to either choose my PS3 or my computer to have an internet connection.
Yeah, I should potentially explain that for somebody every once in a while. But hey, it's like the courier. It's like that Borgia.
Yeah, the Borgia couriers from
Revelation,
Assassin's Creed 2 and
3 and
they actually, they were in all of the Ezio trilogy.
Yeah, it was just that one random fucker that never showed up in Revelations.
Yeah, unless you were in a very specific part of the map.
Yeah, well, the arsenal.
But yeah, we have one more very special thing to do, and can you guess what it is?
Let's see, we got a bunch of mercenaries.
Work your magic.
We're going to make them fight so we can get into the plantation to get the viewpoint that's on top of the governor's palace.
I don't have quite that enough time, but I do have time to watch these idiots fight each other.
Yeah.
And just like in Revelations, it's video games in general, but it's always fun watching the AI fight itself.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to do now.
Actually, if you want to know, Unity, you can actually have 3 separate factions fighting each other.
Huh.
You have your allied faction, and then, like in Revelations, there are guards loyal to the royalty and guards loyal to Templars, and they can all fight each other.
Huh.
So...
a real brouhaha, huh?
It can get pretty nasty at times. I once had a mission in Unity where I was looking for an assassination target, and he never showed up because he was getting waylaid by my allies halfway down the block that he was walking at the time.
Oh goodness, we've lost 2 mercenaries, and the Spanish are still pretty strong. They have the officers. Now, I don't want to help these guys. That's not the point of this.
They did a pretty good job, all in all.
Oh, they're down to only 1 guy now.
Yeah. Can you pick up that axe once he drops it?
I think you can. You just can't hold on to it like usual.
Yeah, we could discuss that some other time.
Now it's 2-on-1 against this poor shirtless man with an axe.
Yeah, he's doing pretty well.
Oh, he's still going. 2-on-1.
This is one of my favorite things to do in Unity, actually. Which is set a heavy target on Berserk and have him attack other people. Because
now these guys seem to be going for like pinprick damage against this one mercenary because they can't. They 2-on-1 and they can't kill this guy. Oh, now it's 1-on-1.
And he wins.